TCS system design. TCS systems can be designed by measuring the zone lengths, the barrel diameter, and the voltage level provided to the heaters. There are several design considerations when engineering a system. Most are associated with TCS length. The primary consideration when defining the TCS length is that the part fits into the zone as desired. This may seem fairly obvious, but much of the design process is really about physically fitting TCS to your machine, and you don't want the parts that are oversized because they cannot be cut down on site. However, you also don't want parts to be undersized because you want to provide the maximum barrel coverage possible. This is for heat containment or to properly insulate the barrel. Next, effort should be made to generally center the thermocouple on the TCS section, since the thermocouple is the controlling entity for the heater. It is also best to minimize the quantity of TCS sizes. Equal sized TCS sections are preferred over using several varied sizes. A key consideration is associated with interference or any hardware or structure that limits access to the barrel for installation of TCS. Examples are barrel supports or rigging bosses. The interference must only be considered if it divides a zone. This example shows two zones, with zone 1 divided by the barrel support. As such, the design will require two TCS sections for zone 1, labeled here zone 1A and 1B. Clearance must also be considered when designing a TCS section. TCS is thicker than traditional band heaters, requiring 3.25 inches of clearance around the entire circumference. If the system doesn't allow for 3.25 inches of clearance, special shapes are available, including parts with flats and reduced diameter parts. Please contact your TCS representative if you have a need for special parts. To verify TCS will work well on your machine, we also ask for some additional information, including the power rating of the current heaters, the zone percent on time, and any amperage limitations on the heating system. We also use this information to calculate the return on investment. Data submission. A simple form is provided for submitting data. Sketch the current configuration, including the number of heaters, location of thermocouples, and noting any interference. Start by identifying the number of heaters. Then identify the starting and end point of the portion of the barrel to be covered with TCS. Leave half an inch on either end for clearance, then note the position of the thermocouples and any interference, such as barrel supports. Measure the distance from one end to each thermocouple, as well as the distance to each side of the interference, and then to the end point of the heated section. This information essentially defines your zone lengths, which can then be measured. Notice the third zone is split by a barrel support, so the zone length of that zone on either side of the support must be measured. Below you can define the exact length of the TCS sections you need. The TCS sections will likely not exactly match the zone length because you want the TCS sections to be identical in length if possible to provide a simple and consistent design and easy installation. However, when the TCS sections and zone lengths are not identical, you'll need to verify that the thermocouples are still generally centered on the TCS section. Then, simply fill in the boxes below with requisite data, including the barrel diameter and the voltage, and then submit this form to your TCS representative. Thank you for your time.